losing me and you. All these years of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say. It's Stampin' Up and it's our way.
Hi everyone, it's Pauline from Stamp with Pauline and another card using the Cutest crew. How cute is this stamp set? It's so cute. So it's got birds, dogs, cats, it's got little paw prints and butterflies and sayings as well. And it also comes with a coordinating die set that has little paw prints in it and some other elements as well. Really cute. For this card, what we're going to be using in our kit today, if you've got the kit, it's easy enough to follow along and you can actually, you have the supplies in your kit. This is a kit on the 11th of April that we've held. If you're interested in the next one, let me know. We've got a base card of basic white folded over. We've got a piece of designer series paper from the product of the month. I've got a scrap piece of basic white. I've got a blender pen. I've got my Memento ink pad, Old Olive and Daffodil Delight. I've got the stamps of the birds. I've also got the sentiment, just a little hello, and I've also got the die for the birds as well. And to start off on this card, super easy. What we're going to do first of all is cut out the birds down the bottom on the designer series paper. Okay, so run that through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, so once that's done and I've cut out my birds, I'm going to lay this down onto, just lay it down onto my base card and just gently with a pencil go over the outline just so I know where I'm going to be stamping my birds. Just a gentle pencil line around there. Okay, I'm going to take my black Memento ink up my little birds, and I might have to do this out of camera for a sec because I'm just not sure if I'm going to line that up correctly, so give me a sec. Alright, I do believe pretty good. Alright, and then that, using some dimensionals, I'm actually going to raise that up. Now, it is slightly off center, and I'm going to fix that by just trimming a little bit of the DSP off this side, which is fine because it still creates that even border all the way around. Okay, while I've got the ink out, I'm going to just stamp on here my little hello. And I forgot to get out one of my stamps. I want another little bird. I'll use this one. I'm going to take my birds and just stamp that. Okay, so I have stamped my birds on my base card. I'm going to take a little bit of the ink from the palette area of my stamp pad, and I'm just going to add a little bit of greenery to the bottom of my birds here. To clean this off, all you do is wipe off your blender pen, and then what I'm going to do is colour in some of the bird, just highlighting a little bit of my bird. Each bird just getting a touch of colour, and I've stamped another bird over here, so I'm just going to colour him in as well. Let's do all over, why not? And then a little bit there, and then again just to clean, and you'll see that the ink comes away. It will stay stained on the nib of a blend brush, but that's okay as long as it runs clear. You've pretty much got rid of all of that ink that comes out of that. All right. Okay, so grab the lid. All right. I'm going to grab my snips and I'm going to chop off this little bird out of there. Okay, Then I'm going to cut my hello, and I'm going to make a little banner at this end like that. And then you can either use your snips or a trimmer depending on how confident you feel. I'm just going to be eyeballing it and straight across the hello, and there is my banner. And I'm going to fussy cut around my little bird. Like so. All right, there's a bird. Okay, so this is just ever so slightly just off center, which I'm okay with. What I'm going to do is just trim a slight edge. So it just literally means a little slither of DSP off one side. So I'm going to make sure he lines up there. Good. And then I need a tiny little bit off the top. Oh, actually the top looks all right. I'm happy with that. Yeah, so that looks good. All right, so that goes like that. All right. But what I'm going to do is grab hold of some mount foam strip. So grab a piece of that and pop that down on all of the sides. Like that. Grab another one. And pop that there. And I've just got a little bit extra there. I'm just going to snip that off. All right. So peel off the back side of the foam strip. And then lay that, I might go this way just so I can actually see that I've got my little birdies lined up in there. Perfect. All right, see how it just raises that up and just gives it a little bit of detail on the card. I quite liked that. And then I'm also going to grab some dimensionals and pop those dimensionals onto there. We have just a little hello, and then need half a dimensional to pop on the back of my bird. Then that little bird, I'm just going to sit right there. And that is the card. Simple, effective, using up your DSP that you've got, just trimming it out, just gives that little bit extra detail. Of course, you can add some bling to this card. So if you've got any bling that is sitting around, you could certainly add lots of dimension and lots of elements to this card. So a little bit of bling on there, and that is the card. All right, I will see you next time. Bye.
What we love, what we do makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and